So Pokemon is obviously a huge IP, obviously we all know that, and with a big IP comes a lot of different merchandise. Of course they have their trading card game, but you know, they've got like toys, plushies, dolls, backpacks even, you know, random stuff like that. Now, I did not know this, but the Pokemon Company actually has a website called the Pokémon Center that is basically the one-stop shop for all of this Pokemon merch. And now I have to say, just right off the bat, kind of a missed opportunity that they didn't call it the Pokemon Mart or the Pokemart, right? That would make a lot more sense for, you know, selling stuff. The Pokemon Center, I mean, that would be more for, if Pokemon had like a real life hospital or I don't know, energy drinks or vitamins or something, I don't know. But yeah, regardless, it's been around for, it actually looks like quite some time. So yeah, I've been quite out of the loop with this. Now, it turns out over the weekend on February 28th, that was just last Friday, 5 days ago, there was a bit of an incident at the Pokemon Center website. Yeah, there was actually kind of a big leak of a lot of different members, I guess their personal information and mainly their email addresses. So this all came to public knowledge when they issued this apology on their website yesterday, Tuesday, and they kind of just explain it that way. Obviously, this is translated to English. Sometimes there are mistranslations from that, but it looks like this all kind of comes out pretty good. So essentially in the apology, it says, "We have confirmed that an issue occurred on Friday, February 28th with the Pokémon Center Online, which resulted in the email addresses of customers who applied for new membership after the renewal being registered as other new members' information." Yeah, I know that sounds a bit confusing. I'll go into detail in just a little bit. So they say, "In addition, due to this, we carried out emergency site maintenance at 10:36 a.m. on Friday, February 28th. We deeply apologize for the great inconvenience and concern caused by this incident." They say the issue has been resolved, and they did send out emails of apology to these customers whose info was leaked, which is, I guess, a bit ironic considering it was their email addresses that did get leaked. Now, going on into the apology, they kind of get a little bit more specific about it. So they say that this did happen from 10 o'clock to 10:36 on Friday, February 28th. So this was during a 36-minute period. And they say this was the period from the reopening to the temporary suspension of the website. So it sounds like there was a reopening of the website. There's a little bit more detail that I have later on. But essentially, yeah, the website kind of just like came back online, and during this, I guess, fragile time frame, there was this bug, which resulted in 326 cases of this info to be leaked. So at the bottom there, it says, "When multiple customers apply for new membership at the same time, there are cases where a member is registered with an email address that does not belong to the customer." And then the last part of it, they go into a little bit more detail, and they basically say kind of the same thing, I guess, that during this period of time when two members would register at the same time, you know, they could kind of have their email addresses revealed to each other, I guess, or like one of them could see the other person's email address. Kind of weird. So that was kind of a bit confusing. So kind of for clarification here, the website Automaton had an article on this, and I will link it in the description. It does go into a bit more detail, kind of makes things more clear. So they say the Pokemon Center has issued an apology for a bug that occurred after their revamped website was launched, which caused personal info to be leaked to other customers. So just that by itself kind of makes things a bit more clear. Basically, they were kind of remodeling their website from what it sounds like, and then when the website came back online on February 28th at 10 a.m., there was this bug that was unnoticed for 36 minutes until maintenance got involved, and basically the bug made it so that, yes, there were these specific cases, 326 cases to be exact, where, you know, for example, I would register my account and another person would register their account, and then maybe I would see their email or they would see mine. It sounds like maybe the other person's shipping address could also be seen too. I'm not quite sure on that. But what this tells me is that this is a leak, sure, but it's not maybe as bad as what that initially sounds like. Because to me, a leak would be like, you know, oh, you know, I could look it up right now. As long as somebody took a screenshot of it at some point, you know, this was just basically entirely public information to anybody. But from what it sounds like, no, this wasn't the case. Maybe it was just this one person who could see my personal information. it's still still a leak, don't get me wrong. Still not great, but, you know, it is just one person. It's not the entire internet, I suppose. So thankfully, it kind of sounds like it is a bit of a controlled situation, and it does sound like it is well under control now. Like I said, kind of ironically, the victims in this case, they were emailed. Yeah, they were all notified by email. I hope they all got that email. But sounds like things are back to normal. I still can't believe I had not heard of this website until now. It really is crazy how big the Pokemon IP is. Though this was about a 30-minute incident, it did lead to a little over 300 cases of leaked info. Since this did just happen a few days ago, I guess we will see if there will be, I don't know, any kind of lawsuits that result from this. That would probably be a bit dramatic. I don't think that will happen, but I suppose crazier things have happened. But as for right now, this whole thing has been resolved.